we're back. We're back on the Bond, and we're doing You Only Live Twice, Bond film, an hour and 51 minutes long. And we need to get it rolling, so we're going to crack on with the show. So we are queued up to just before the MGM Lion comes on. It's a black screen.
I'll do it. I'll do the little sync bit.
Ben will call us in, so we're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay, so Raw. Second Raw. Okay, you're all good.
And we're all in on the Bond. Now we're on the UN. Why is there too many? There's so many intros to this.
There's 2 logos down.
I'm not happy.
2 logos is clearly too much, I guess.
Luke, did they have these 2 logos back in the 1960s?
They wouldn't have had the MGM or that United Artists logo, actually.
The film would have just started. Why did they black and white him, by the way? I did notice that last night when I watched this. I watched this for the first time last night, by the way.
They spent all the money on the Volcano, so...
Oh,
they had no money left for colour film,
I will get around to that Volcano effect.
There's actually, on this Blu-ray, there's actually a really good doc about the titles.
Really?
Yeah, not just this film, just the titles in general.
I'll have to give that
and that is Stanley Kubrick, of course, guest directed this sequence.
No, what I will say is, I actually, for 1967, I actually thought this was quite well handled. You know what I mean? This sequence.
It's a bit crap looking compared to something like 2001, but I guess it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it does the job. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I think they've probably tidied it up a bit. That stock footage has been used in, I think, every Connery film.
Yeah.
It was in Dr. No, I think, at some point, and... Ed Wood edited that bit.
Guys, where's the spaceship set?
And this was a year before 2001 Space Odyssey.
Like I said,
but it doesn't look like fantastic. It looks okay, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like I say,
considering about 12 years later, we'll be getting whole sequences set in space battles. So more stock footage.
Gotta love that stock footage.
They did no work on the opening bit. They just said, "What stock footage do we have, boys?"
I got a lot of footage
Cubby Broccoli was there with a cigar. Put it down, see? Don't know why he's a gangster now. That's just the way I imagine him.
Is this stock footage, Ben?
No, they actually went to space.
Oh, brilliant!
This is actually the first film shot in space. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
There was a moment coming up.
Anything you hear otherwise is just communist scaremongering.
Communist propaganda.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
That looks like some kind of. That looks like some kind of evil spaceship.
No. Stop.
It literally looks like a space bullet. It's so brilliant. I love this film. I'm going to say this quite often, but it's true.
I had mixed feelings about this film, I will be honest.
I adore this film. I think it's wonderfully, absolutely bonkers.
Oh yeah, that's the thing I really liked about it.
I mean, look at what we're watching now compared to the...
From Russia with Love.
No, compared to the laid-back, subtle... intro to Dr. No.
Yeah.
And the cool mechanisms of From Russia with Love. We're now watching a spaceship eat another spaceship. We are firmly in
space.
We're firmly in bonkers territory now, Dan, and it stays this way for a while.
I'm quite happy about this. This was the stuff I liked. This was the stuff I really got on with.
We are getting... This is a film series at like the absolute fucking peak of its power. It's just like, what can we get? Realising it can get away with pretty much anything.
Which I'm perfectly happy about.
And rightly so.
Oh, yeah. No, it deserves what it gets for it. And like I say, the cine is gorgeous throughout this film as well. Like the location where
this was directed by Lewis Gilbert. Who...
Oh, hang on a minute. They've just gone into that bit in GoldenEye, the video game for the N64. It's all snow-capped towers.
Yes, this is a sequel.
To GoldenEye.
Yeah. See, I love how cartoony this is. You've got the American being very American, you've got the Russian being very Russian, and then you've got the British going, "Oh, I say, chaps, we'll get our best man on it. He just goes around shagging his way to the world."
Well, this is what
the Americans like, "You Ruskies, we're going to nuke you." It's like, we are brave comrades. So, like, over the top.
This is what I really liked about this scene, because the British come into it and it's just like, now settle down, chaps. Here is how it's going to work. And those two are just like, yes, okay.
It's very like, the British will sort everything out.
Everything is all right.
What our shag nasty superhero is going to fuck his way to Japan.
I'm going to shorthand this. I absolutely hated Connery in this film. With a passion. There were just moments where I openly said, oh, fuck off. Multiple times.
Would it surprise you if I told you that Connery had already announced before they even went to Japan that he was going to quit?
No. Right. From frame one, I hate this opening line that he has. It's just this bit.
Well, you know, it's not that out of character.
It's not out of character.
For the Bond that we've come to know and love, or know and hate, it's not that out of character.
The adventures of Randy Grandpa end here, and I am quite happy that Connery's 10
No,
years.
not quite.
Well, not quite. I know he comes back for one more.
Yeah.
Well, two more if we count the other one. But...
If you count the money, the Money Dear Boy film, Never Say Never Again. Oh God, I guess the film's over now, huh?
Brilliant. James Bond is dead.
Spectre take over, that's it.
Done. Film over. Rocket Attack USA plays.
By the way, you are about to spot a cameo from the Master himself.
Oh, really?
In a moment. Mr. Anthony Ainley plays one of the coppers.
Oh, I did not notice that.
When they have the little lines of dialogue, you'll probably hear him. Listen. That's him, yeah. It's got that kind of drawling
quality, yeah.
So that's the end of You Only Live Twice.
Fantastic. So
Dan's happy. They kill Bond off straight away.
Brilliant. How do you rate him out of 10?
In bed or just?
Well, I'm still wondering why all Chinese girls taste different from all other girls.
He does have the hairiest chest a man's ever had, so that's something.
Well, as they've established, in Japan, men have hairless chests, so women are always intrigued where they can make a nest, whatever the fuck that means.
Dan, this film is completely accurate. Japan is exactly like this, even down to the volcano lair.
I wondered.
Even down to the helicopters that have magnets.
Well, I've heard you're planning on going on a little holiday to Japan at some point in the near future.
I'm hoping that by the time I go, we won't all have died of a horrible virus. Oh no, I've dated the thing. No mind.
Oh no!
By the time this goes out, I'll have died anyway.
Nah, it's all fine.
And Donald Pleasance. The song.
By the way, best Bond theme I've heard so far.
Nancy Sinatra.
Nice. It's just nice.
Yes.
It's not bombastic like Thunderball, but it's not.
No, it's very reserved. I guess because they were going for the sort of Oriental Japanese tone. They wanted it to be a bit more sweeping, a bit more panoramic.
And it's got that nice vibe about it, which I really liked.
And considering the last two people who did the Bond themes fainted apparently while recording, it's nice to have one that doesn't require that.
That just keeps it pretty subdued.
Yeah, I love this song. It's really nice. Colour by colour.
Colour by colour.
Filmed with cameras.
Filmed on film, on camera.
Lovely Maurice Bin doing his perviness.
Now, just so I've got it clear in my head, set designs, are they done by the same bloke who's done the last 3 or 4 Connery films?
You mean Ken Adam?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's still back in this.
Yeah.
When does he drop out?
Ken Adam is with the series for quite a while. He's into it well into the Roger Moore years. By the way, did that catch you by surprise?
No, I didn't even notice that.
Screenplay by Roald Dahl?
That's impressive. I didn't notice that the first time I watched
this.
Yeah,
they got Roald Dahl wrote this.
Wow. Yeah, that caught me up. That being said, though, if you think about it, the big volcano layer is very Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at sometimes.
Well, in the book, in the original novel, Blofeld and Spectre lived on a castle. And they were they were going to go for that at one point, but they couldn't find any castle. The book specifically said it was a castle by the sea. But Japan didn't build any castles by the sea because, they'd
fall into the sea.
They'd fall into the sea. So, So they were sort of doing a little recce around Japan, and they saw a volcano and turned to Ken Adam and said, "Could you do a volcano lair?" And he shrugged his shoulders and went, "I could do that." And I know we're not up. I know this is like way. Who is that bloke, by the way, watching the funeral?
I don't know. He's never.
I've always wondered who he is.
Yeah.
But
it's J. Jonah Jameson.
He gets a close up and everything, so you think he's important, but he's not.
No.
I know we're not. I know this is way later on, but the other Volcano Lair cost more than the entirety of Doctor No.
Really?
Yeah.
What, the entirety of the film's budget?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, Doctor No only had a $1 million budget.
That being said, though, thinking of where they could have got a soundstage that was that big, I mean, I assumed for a while that it was maybe a matte painting or something.
No, Dan. They fucking built that. That's why I love this film. The script said, Spectre lives in a volcano lair, and Chriddof said, right, well, we're building a volcano lair then.
Where'd you get the space, though, for it?
In a soundstage, presumably.
Well, no, but I mean, like, even in Goldfinger, when they went to, like, aircraft hangars that wasn't as big as the volcano.
We're way past Goldfinger now. We're into the stratosphere now.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm getting Thunderball flashbacks.
Luckily, it doesn't last very long.
Oh.
This always made me laugh because the whole idea is, right, here's what we'll do, Bond. We'll fake your death because you're becoming too notorious. We'll fake your death. And then what we'll do is we'll immediately send you on a very important mission where you will doubtlessly encounter peril and danger and people trying to kill you.
You'll be spotted at least half a dozen times.
You will be spotted immediately. It's... I mean, your picture was in the paper, for fuck's sake. I know it's 1967 and there's no such thing as like the internet or anything to really spot these things, but someone will notice.
Oh, yeah. Somebody will go, hang on a minute. That admiral who got shot is walking down this street right
Commander.
now. Yeah.
He's a commander. Don't forget that.
I like the fact that they wear little shorts.
Well, what else would they wear?
I don't know. Long trousers.
They're in a submarine. I know it doesn't have anything to do with them. Well, maybe this one's... Maybe... Well, they're in Japan, it's hot.
Are you my mummy?
It
would have been a line. It could have been a line. Permission denied, out into the hatch.
If it was you. Throw him into the sea where he belongs.
Put him in the torpedo launcher. Oh, I love this bit. This was one of the bits I was like, of course, why not? They just redo the normal Moneypenny thing, but now they're in a submarine and it's exactly the same. Everything's exactly the same. The only thing that's missing is they could have put a porthole window in the background with some really crappy green screen showing fish swimming.
It's like a TARDIS. Everywhere they go in the world, Bond will always know Moneypenny will always have a desk, and M will always have an office.
And there'll always be a door next to Moneypenny that goes into M's office perfectly. Of course, M's office is wood panelled.
Well, yeah.
He had the choice for it to be metal. No, wood panelled.
He's, he just likes to feel at home.
This is the big one. That's why we faked your death, so that you can be seen by millions of people.
This is the point I just made. You'd think that... I can see the stuff. Well, I can see the logic behind faking his death. But then the other logical thing would be to say, right, go off on a holiday somewhere. Just go to fucking Bahamas or wherever and just drink vodka martinis and shag around for 2 weeks. And then we'll send you on some low-key sort of mission.
That sounds like what I do whenever I have downtime.
He does it on whether he's on downtime or on time.
On the job, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But no, they immediately send him on a very, very important mission that, as M said just then, could result in World War III.
Yeah. I mean, I also do have to take my hat off to the writers and also to Connery. They managed to avoid a seaman joke, which I am incredibly surprised by.
They won't have that same restraint later on.
No. So I remember you saying that the novel differs greatly from this.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like, as the films go on, they don't really pay much attention to the novels. Beyond like, For Spy Who Loved Me, for example, has no link to the novel beyond the name. But I like this. This is one of my favourite little money penny interplays.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Where she gives him the password.
Yeah.
We had some alternative passwords. One of them was "Shag me now."
The other was "Your shoelaces are untied," and the third one was "This vodka doesn't taste right."
But yeah, the in the novel, so On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is the one where he gets married, is after this film.
Spoilers? I ain't even seen that one yet.
It's spoilers. It came out 50 years ago.
Spoilers? This is my first time watching these Bond films. God.
He's such a knob. She throws him the Japanese textbook, and he goes, "You forget I took a first at Oriental languages."
Yeah, I hate him.
And chucks it back. All right, dick.
Yeah. You could have just said, "Oh, cheers."
Yeah.
You know. There's one line coming up.
It's that thing that I find really funny about Bond's character. Like, they make a point of knowing. You have to know that he took a first at Oriental languages. He's Bond. He knows every language.
Yeah.
He speaks all tongues.
There's one line coming up that genuinely just made me go, "Oh, fuck off!" And that's when they got on what's his name?
His mate in Japan.
His mate in Japan.
Tiger.
Yeah. They get on his special private train and they pour him some sake. He said he offers him sake or a vodka martini, and he goes, "Oh, I love sake." And then he goes, takes a little sip, and he goes, "Especially one that's at room temperature, 37.6 degrees."
Well, yeah.
And I was just like, oh.
The great thing about these films is you get a great adventure, and you also get tips on how to drink sake.
I'd just tray on head him every time.
Educational. So yeah, so the one where he gets married is after this in the films.
But
in
doesn't
the
he
book,
already get married in this one?
Not in this one.
Yeah, he does.
Well, no, but that's... I mean, like, when he actually gets married.
Ah, right.
In the books, it happened before this, and he'd gone a bit mad, basically, and insane. And M says, "Okay, you're going to go to Japan for this low-key mission," and he meets... It's not a plan to sort of, like, cause World War III. Blofeld has a garden of death where people go to commit suicide.
Right.
And the whole thing is Bond is feeling suicidal and depressed because Ian Fleming was feeling suicidal and depressed. The whole book is very melancholy and very strange. Half of it is just dedicated to Japanese culture and, like, you know, Bond on doing a kind of travelogue, which is quite nice if you're into that, but if you're after a gripping Bond story, you might be a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Because not an awful lot happens in the book until the last bit. And then it ends with Bond on an island with amnesia. Because Ian Fleming was, by his own admission, really sick of the books and just wanted to kill him, basically. I think they took one look at it and went, "Right, we're not doing that, chaps."
We're done with this now, chaps. What was the book that came after You Only Live Twice?
The book that came after it was... I think it was The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay. I take it he gets his memories back in that one, otherwise it's going to be a very confusing novel.
He does get his memories back eventually, yes.
I should probably explain why I only watched this film yesterday.
For the sumo wrestling?
For the first time. Yeah, during the sumo wrestling scene. Normally I watch these films at least a couple of weeks in advance, just so I've got a bit of a feel, a bit of a vibe. I can kind of sit and digest the film and my sort of thoughts on it a bit. But the day that I came to watch this film, as you probably know if you've been listening to these regularly, which why have you been doing that? I watched the VHS version of it because I've got them all on tape. And I put my copy of You Only Live Twice into my video player, hit play, and it immediately proceeded to eat the tape completely and totally, wrecking it beyond repairability. Reparability? And it had to go in the bin. So it was an excuse for me and Ben to meet up and have a pint.
And that's why Dan doesn't know how to drink sake, because he never got that far in the film.
I didn't. You know what? I didn't even get to that weird. And if you had Bond tapes in the 90s, you'll know this. I didn't even get to that weird compilation of best Bond moments that they play at the very beginning of the tape to advertise the Bond collection.
Yeah.
It literally just I hit play and it immediately chewed it.
I like those. They make me feel very nostalgic.
They're very good. So we met up. We had a pint. He gave me his Blu-ray copy, and I saw this. God blimey, Governor, you mean it?
He'd forgotten the password by this point. He was just saying it.
Yeah.
What? Oh, that's right, I'm on a mission.
I like to think it was his 9th go. He just sat down next to an old man. I love you.
It's a very direct... Goes up to one of the sumos.
I love you.
He just goes, "Oh, well, thank you very much." You were going for Kenneth Williams Camp.
Yes.
I was just going for a man just taking a compliment.
Sits down next to one of the Yakuza. I love you. Wakes up in a barrel. Yeah.
Pulls a sword out. That's his other pickup line.
Wow.
That's his other pickup line.
That man just played 2 cards and won. Ladies and gents, top tip, if you're next trying to flirt with a woman you've never met before, just sit down, say, I love you, and then tell her you should go to a hotel.
Go to the sumo match. A little bit.
That is not a real car. Well, it is a real car.
It is a real car.
No, it's not. It's got a weird Sony
That's not really Sean Connery. That's CGI.
That is CG Connery. That is not a real backdrop, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I mean, a bit about his experience in Japan. He'd already decided that he wasn't going to come back for the next film because of something to do with a contract dispute. Usually it's the case, isn't it? But his Japanese experience really cemented it for him because basically he was never given a moment of privacy. You got to remember, he was James Bond, height of his fame. And
it was massive in Japan because Japan were going through that period where US-UK sort of culture was massive over there during the 60s.
He was never left alone. People I think he said, I read some interview where he said the turning point was when he was going for a piss and they followed him into the toilet.
Jesus.
And,
it's the narrator from Rocky Horror.
Yes.
I do love this bit as well where he takes his stick off him, whacks him in the leg. Because I know that they joke about if he got the wrong leg, but I would have genuinely liked to have seen him hit the wrong leg and just have him fall
you
over.
Fucking cunt, Bond!
How dare you! What do you mean you thought it was a fake leg? I do like Charles Gray. He's very good in most things that he's in.
Well, this isn't the last you'll see of Charles Gray in the Bond series, but I won't tell you when he turns up again.
Okay. Well, that was fairly careless.
Doesn't he make him the wrong combination of vodka martini?
He did. He made it stirred, not shaken. And Bond goes, yes, that's fine. Which...
Arsehole. I'm glad he got shot.
I arranged to have him shot. You thought it was connected to Spectre.
I work for Spectre all along.
I have an agent who follows me and he shoots people who make my drinks wrong every time. No failure.
All this talk of alcohol.
It's making me thirsty. Oh yes, I forgot to do the
thing. Can't control my uncontrollable addiction, you see.
Forgot to do the thing. So, for this week's comedy dining experience, we don't
do you have any classes?
We do downstairs. I can go and grab you one.
No, I can't be asked.
Nah, fine. So for this month's comedy dining experience, we are not eating anything for this one, but Ben has got a delicious Jack Daniel's whiskey, and I am on water.
Well, we're watching Hocus Pocus later. And
we are.
Pizza, so.
We're going to be recording the Halloween special, and we're going to have.
You Only Live Twice and Hocus Pocus, they're very similar. They're very thematically linked.
They both are. They both have people in it. They're both shot.
They both have magic in it.
They both have some level of magic in it. And they both feature evil volcano lairs. Yes. So, Halloween special we're recording later, and we've got lots of sweets and pizza. Good.
That's all good. Fightage.
Nice to stab you.
This is why you're not Roald Dahl.
Just make him really bad ones. Because the ones he does are bad. Just go really even worse.
He just stabs him and goes, I guess I just stabbed you in the back.
Now to steal your shoes
I'm losing my touch.
Now to steal your shoes, jacket and mask and pretend to be Chinese for a bit.
Japanese, you racist.
This is what Connery would do. This is what... He wouldn't care. He didn't know where he is.
It's not Connery's fault that you're an enormous racist.
No, I'm saying that Connery's Bond wouldn't care where he was.
You weren't playing a character. You were playing the character of Dan.
The character of Dan is a fictional character. I am Gambler.
That's very sped up, wasn't it?
It was very sped up. Anyway, what I was getting to. There are 2 bottles in my window at the minute containing liquid that appears to be both like fairy liquid. You've got you've got your green fairy liquid, you've got your blue fairy liquid. It's actually orange juice.
Which one's orange juice?
They're both orange juice.
Why?
Bit as well where he takes his stick off him, whacks him in the leg.
He'd already decided that.
Whacks him in the leg. It literally just, I hit play.
What came after it was.
Whacks him in the leg. It literally just, I hit play.
What came after it was like stunt stuff on the early films. Yeah, they're very like. They feel very real, even if it's got that kind of thing that a lot of me, for example.
Very no.
Fucking.
Just make that this scene wouldn't go down this way because that katana would shatter the moment it touched the floor.
It's a marble floor as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is the thing. Katanas are built in such a way that they're incredibly fragile, but when used right, they're incredibly precise.
How do you know so much about katanas?
I was a weeaboo for a very long time. No, I used to watch a lot of anime. And
You're a disgusting human being.
I used to watch a lot of anime when I was growing up, and I had a friend who was a little bit autistic. He was diagnosed autistic.
He tells his friend he's talking about him.
And he was obsessed with Japanese culture.
There was no friend. This is just you. This is all you.
It was all me. Now, just to hide you in here.
And take a pause to have a swig.
There you go. Nobody will notice him. I like to think he shut the door, and it couldn't quite shut. Because there was a bloke in there, so he had to sort of wedge it really hard, you know.
That's all good. With amnesia.
Oh, I love this bit. Oh, bad damn.
I don't think Bond would be that
but just
disgusted by Siamese vodka.
No.
I think he'd relish it. He seems like, he goes, ugh, Siamese vodka.
Literally, like 20 minutes from now, somebody offers him Russian vodka, and he's like, Russian vodka. And the guy goes, yes, I get it from the lad from the embassy.
That's the line, I believe.
Yeah.
I get it from the lad from the embassy.
Lads.
Good on him. Good on him. You know, I've just realised, where did he get that thing from? He couldn't have been carrying it under his jacket.
Just keeps it on him.
It's fucking enormous.
Just keeps it on him, mate. He keeps it wherever he puts his penis. I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know, because there was no cue scene to explain what this is. It's just a magic safe opening box.
Yeah.
How does it work? I don't know.
You simply attach it to whatever safe you want, and then twiddle the knob until eventually it works.
And look like you're doing something important.
Yes.
And, well, balls that up, didn't you?
Why did he even need the safe opening thing if it was going to set the alarm off anyway?
He didn't know that, to be fair. I mean,
reckon
you could argue that it's probably an assumption that the safe would be alarmed.
Mm.
And here he uses the famous spy technique of hide and go seek.
What did you do, Bond? I hid behind a filing cabinet until they went away.
Just like they taught you in Cambridge.
I think you'll find it's Eton, dear.
No, Bond went to, according to the books, I think he went to Cambridge or Oxford.
Oh, yeah.
One of the posh ones.
No, you see, I was going off our current Prime Minister who went to...
Cambridge, wasn't it? Because he says at the start, I took a first at Oriental Languages at Cambridge.
No, I was going off our current Prime Minister who went to Eton, and he's specialised in hiding whenever anything comes up. So...
Our current Prime Minister, Sean Connery?
Yes. Definitely. That would... I don't know if that'd be better or worse, let's be honest.
We magically found ourselves out of a studio.
Na, you can't catch me. I like to think very briefly that when it transitioned, it was like one of the Monty Pythons doing the running. Cut back. There you go. Any shots from behind clearly are not that actress. How did she know that this was going to happen? And more importantly...
Because she's in the Japanese Secret Service.
More importantly...
And she knew there was a magic corridor.
More importantly, why did they build a collapsible floor? And more importantly, how has that not accidentally gone off and sent a Japanese businessman to his death?
I love those Willy Wonka shots.
So I can go and grab you one.
Nah, I can't be asked.
Room temperature, 37.6.
Say that, doesn't he?
I just like the idea that everybody he meets, because he's not sure, he's just like, I love you.
He goes up to Blofeld at the end. I love you. Oh, look, he has the VHS of You Only Live Twice playing on his strange television.
That'll be my copy. Oh, I love this. One of the bits I was like, of course. Wait, this is what you wouldn't... It was connected trousers.
There's still like stuff like this in films in general where you see like CCTV and they didn't shoot it from any other angles or...
It's just
they're just using the same footage. So Tanaka has every like thing that's happened.
Well, that's why Tanaka's so confident, because he's got a copy of You Only Live Twice. He knows how it ends.
Yeah. It all turns out all right.
He'll be fine. We've got to hurry. It'll be World War III. No, it won't.
Yeah, but I'm in the case of it.
Then you go and solve it.
Well, we make you Asian.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Jesus. That's the bit that... Oh, well, yeah, we'll get to that. Like I say, I genuinely, there are moments in this film where I'm completely on board with it, and I was really enjoying it. There's just little things, mainly to do with my 21st century attitude towards the world and women, and generally being nice to people, that just really tarnish this for me.
It's not just this film.
No, they're all... There's so much I really like about them, but at the same time, there's so many little things that just really make me go, oh, I want to love you.
It's good though, isn't it, when he, blows up the volcano at the end.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
It's good, that bit.
I love that bit.
And now we're going on his super secret spy train.
Super happy spy train. Family Wisher.
It's called the spy train.
Yeah. That woman's on there all the time, by the way.
She lives there.
Yeah.
Tanaka seemingly has unlimited resources because he has the budget for,
Secret Ninja Academy, a secret underground rail system.
Oh, this is the bit you were talking about.
Fuck off.
That should have been... I love you. All right. Get me, mister. I know how to drink sake. Yeah, you put it to your lips and you drink it, you cunt.
I think it should have been... Is it? I've just been storing it under the train.
Oh, I wouldn't know, because I only live here. You're just a fucking tourist.
Who could say fucking Tory for a century attitude towards the world that they're incredibly fragile, but when used...
To vote right-wing, it would be Connery's Bond.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Connery is clearly the endorsement for kill everyone now. No, I said bigger, not
Connery's
blurrier.
Bond would probably read the Sun, the Daily Mail, and just kind of go, "Yes, I know."
It's terrible. I've been stockpiling toilet paper for a month. That's another coronavirus joke.
Look, they're sussing out the mystery.
We'll all eat.
To be fair, they do kind of poke fun at just how over.
I hate this line as well.
What?
Immediately cut to a load of semi-naked women.
Look, if Tanaka wants to have a jacuzzi sex palace, it's entirely his. Now, before you say anything, I know it's not a jacuzzi, but you know what? Jacuzzi sex palace just sounds right.
I'm not going to knock his jacuzzi sex palace. That is not my problem. My problem is that he says, "You're welcome to all of my possessions," and it immediately cuts to a load of semi-naked women.
Well...
The implication being that the semi-naked women are his possessions.
It's not really an implication. They flat out say it.
Yeah.
It's not. Nothing's implied.
In
Japan, men come first, women second. And our lovable sexist hero goes, "I might just retire to here."
Yeah, God, I hate this so much.
You mean you've never had a room of scantily clad Japanese ladies rub soap on you?
Unfortunately not. The closest I've ever had was, I think, Laura once threw a sponge at me.
It's not quite the same.
No.
This is just my life.
I do this every day.
Stop telling me about
Go away!
Stop telling me about my country, you dick.
What I'm saying is I have a hairy chest, which makes me more masculine than you.
Why would you bother to go and save the world when you can just live in this jacuzzi sex palace forever?
Yeah. You know what? If the world's only going to last for another couple of months, why not?
I just assume every Japanese home is like this.
Now, does Randy Grandpa get any better in Diamonds Are Forever?
He gets more bored in Diamonds Are Forever.
Because I mean,
if you think he phones in his performance here.
Oh, well, yeah, that was one of the things I was going to say. I did notice there was a Jurassic.
A Jurassic.
There was a Jurassic step down. Oh, God. Excuse me, do you mind, love? You're about 3 mil away from my gland.
A vagina? I've never seen one of those before.
Delightful.
Is that what they look like? Blimey.
I've been looking at penises, it turns out, all this time. Any shots from behind clearly are not that actress. Jesus!
He's more hair than man.
His bottom half is literally ape.
That's what happened when he fell in the water. He's transforming.
That's now made me curious. What does his arse look like?
Sadly, we never get to see Bond's arse.
Is it hairless? Is it ape-like?
I imagine Connery Bond's arse was probably quite hairy.
I imagine he's Father Fluffy Bottom. I reckon he's got a full-blown, big old hairy ass.
And now we're going to bonk because that's just what happens.
Randy Grandpa T-shirts will be available in our Etsy shop shortly.
He's known a female for longer than, well, sometimes less than 24 hours. It's just assumed that they have sex.
Yeah.
That's just in the job description.
Oh, yeah. That is more prominent in this film, by the way. I know there's like 3 or 4 Bond girls in this film.
Yeah, there's a few.
And every single one of them is exactly the same. He meets them for about 20 seconds, and then they're rutting, and that's just it.
That's basically how it goes down, yeah.
It makes me laugh, though, because by the third one, I'm just like... It's almost like Bond's just like, oh, fine.
Yeah. I like those where he just kind of has to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's an obligation for him. He isn't deriving any pleasure anymore from it.
I just want you to know this is for you, not me.
Oh, another shag. Oh,
all right.
Another beautiful woman throwing themselves at me. What a hard life.
No, I never.
Enormous typewriter.
This was one of the bits that didn't quite make sense to me. I couldn't work out whether.
One of the bits.
Yeah, I couldn't work out whether this bit here, the thing that's in the ceiling, is it a camera or a gun or both?
It's a camera.
Because it looked a little bit like a pistol, like an upside-down pistol.
Oh, no, it's just a camera.
And because the camera itself, like the video screen that he's looking at, has like a bullseye target drawn on it. I was wondering whether it was like.
Maybe... Oh, you mean that?
Yeah, that. Because when it shows you the shot of it,
you know what? I can completely see where you get that vibe from.
Because have a look at it in a second.
No, I've always just thought of it as just a camera.
Yeah, can you see that looks like a gun? I just thought it maybe like was a camera gun or something, like a golden shot. And it was like, as he's walking around, they're sort of keeping a target on him just in case he does something.
Like, wouldn't be that out of place, to be fair? Like a little snipey camera thing.
Yeah.
Just a camera. Here comes our second wheel, villain-wise. Mr. Osato and Helga Brandt.
Ah, Mr. Osato, I would like to buy some of your chemicals. Kill him! Oh, I mean, sorry, what do you want to do with it? Well, I'd like to distribute it. Kill him!
You haven't got this villain thing down yet.
I'll kill you!
You're meant to pretend to be nice to them for a little bit and then kill them.
Oh, sorry. Hello, how are you doing? I'm very well. Kill him! Oh, I don't drink before 12 o'clock. Are you sure? It's a Chardonnay 57.
Served at the correct temperature of 98 point whatever degrees.
Oh, fuck off. What?
It's too early for him. You stink of vodka, sir.
Sir, you've had 8 martinis before you came in. Martini isn't alcohol.
Me and Tiger were at his jacuzzi palace.
Have you ever been to the sex jacuzzi palace?
Who hasn't, Mr. Bond?
Ah!
He does say "arso" a few times, which is very uncomfortably racist. There is a few... In this scene, he goes, "Arso. Arso." Bit of it ain't half hot mum vibes.
Hang on a moment, let me just check my X-ray machine I have built into my desk for some reason. You've now been hit with enough radiation to destroy half of the country.
It's the 60s, so you've been bombarded with literally enough radiation to murder an entire village. Oh, I like this little exchange. Connery is one of those actors. He's not like Chris Walken, where he can sell a single word. Like if the line is just one word. So like it's like, okay, the line is, she says, Mr. Osato believes in a healthy chest. You say, really?
Yes.
And he just sells it. The way he goes, really? It's just brilliant. Even when Connery just can't be arsed and he's phoning it in, he still has these little moments where he just shines through and he just makes it.
He just has it.
There's a similar moment in Time Bandits.
Oh, yeah.
When the little boy, remember he plays like the Centurion.
Yeah, the film I famously watched once.
The kid's like, my name's Kevin, and he's all he has to say is the kid's name, and he goes, Kevin, and he just gives it so much like
oomph. Oh, I love this. This is so stupid. This is so stupid.
Well, look.
Hey, boss, should we stay back a little bit? No, let's literally sit on his arse with a gun up him and see what happens.
In LA, this wouldn't be considered that bizarre.
No, but it's literally just the fact that they're like feet behind him and trying to be conspicuous. And this entire scene is ridiculous.
They're not trying to be conspicuous, Dan. They're literally firing. It's like a 30s gangster film.
Well, they were trying to be conspicuous. Well, I say trying to be conspicuous. They were 2 foot behind him with a machine gun on his arse. But apart from that,
I think he must have heard the voices behind him going, there's the man we are going to shoot. Shoot him now with the gun you have in your hand.
Boss, should I change from the big loud shooty gun to the silent gun? No, put the extra noise thing on the gun.
Good idea, boss.
I'll put the loudener on it. Click.
Oh shit, he's on a soundstage. We can't get him.
Oh god, he's been surrounded by film.
Quick, get the nonsense helicopter.
Yes.
Nonsense helicopter deployed.
Tiger, which nonsense helicopter should we release? The one with the giant fuck-off magnet on it.
That's what it's called, the nonsense helicopter.
Should we get the one that just releases poison across the country? No, the one with the giant magnet that can pick cars off the road randomly.
Most of the Japanese Secret Service's budget goes to, it just says nonsense.
The nonsense helicopter force. How did they know to release the helicopter with the giant magnet on it?
Dan. When you're as well prepared as the Japanese Secret Service,
do they all have giant magnets attached to them?
This is how they're going to get rid of the coronavirus.
They're going to magnet them all away.
Yes. Even Bond's like, what the fuck is my life right now? What am I looking at?
I need a vacation.
I mean, look.
Oh, God.
The Daniel Craig films are pretty good, but you'll never get this happening.
I really wish I would. I really wish they would. I like the fact they're all struggling to get out the car like that's going to happen.
It's great.
Yeah, laugh at their imminent death.
Well, they were trying to gun them down.
Well, yeah, but even so. Why were they filming that? Where is that coming from?
They're watching the VHS.
Oh yeah, Tiger's got it running in real time.
Yeah. The film is playing while the film is playing.
Hey boss, where should we take these guys? Just drop them in the ocean. Okay.
Splash.
Fun fact, from that height, that car hitting the water would have been like it landing on concrete, so they all died on impact pretty much straight away.
Well, I think the implication is they all died, yes.
I
don't think it would cut to like them swimming out like...
What I also like to think is that Tiger is doing linking narration between scenes for his copy of You Only Live Twice.
How will Bond get out of this one?
Tune in to next week's episode.
Bond was in a jam. Luckily, I got my helicopter of crap.
Luckily, the nonsense helicopter force flew. He said that with such a smile.
She's one of my old swings from back in the day. Remember Sylvia Trench? She's dead now, of course.
Bring me my super spy man, and I'm going to go and investigate the docks where I'm clearly going to get jumped. Didn't need to come here. That was another thing as well.
Well, yeah, because there's a reason he's here. They're following up on the lead from Osato.
Yeah, but they knew that they were going to do bad shit.
Yeah, but that's not the point, is it? They can't just go in and arrest Mr. Osato. That's not how it works.
I know, but they don't go to arrest him even in this film.
They need to do some snooping around first.
How did they know it was him, and how did they know that he was going to get killed by a forklift?
Well, presumably they all work for Spectre. Also, presumably, Mr. Osato was taking pictures of him in the office.
Would have forwarded it over.
So they all know who he is. Plus, it's not every day you see a bloke in a suit walking around the docks, to be fair. So he probably did look a bit conspicuous.
That is a point.
Plus, he had a big sign on him saying, "I am a spy," which also doesn't help.
I am the once dead Admiral Bond. Kill me.
Yeah.
I like that bit as well. You need to go and warn them. I'm not going to leave you. Go and warn them. Okay.
Discussion over.
Man talk.
Some lovely John Barry tunage coming on now. The score for this film is fantastic.
I was just about to say the score is really, really nice. Yeah. That conveyor belt literally led up to that door.
Well, yeah.
That was it. There wasn't any walkways or anything.
Oh, that's strange. Isn't this great?
Yeah.
I love the way that it just goes up, and up. You're just watching this
fight break out.
Get smaller and smaller. It's so fantastic. For every moment of sexist and racist unpleasantness, there's always something like this.
Yeah.
That just wins you back around.
I mean, that's the kind of cine I would love to see in more newer Bond films. They don't really tend to do those really,
I was thinking it would be better if...
Oh, I love this bit because I always imagine, I love it when he jumps off the second one, that it was just concrete bricks.
Ah! Ted, have you seen what she's replaced my mattress with?
Well, I've got rid of them. They can't shoot down.
I mean, this is the exact same place at the start. Oh, you silly fool.
Ow! You hit me with a wrench! Why would you do that? Do you know who I am? And where's that? Who are you?
It's in Japan. Where's that? It's in Asia.
And where's
that? It's in the world. Where's that?
In our solar
in the Milky Way. Where's that?
Who are you? Who am I?
Who am I?
Why are you doing this? Why?
10 minutes ago, I was in a jacuzzi.
Where's my jacuzzi sex palace?
Can you please call this video Ben and Dan's Jacuzzi Sex Palace?
Yes, that will be the... Well, in the videos I edit, I have a little caption at the top that normally does our thing.
Or JSP, as they're commonly known.
Yes. Do you know what this is, Mr. Bond? Knife. Yes, but do you know what it is specifically? Yes, a knife.
You eat scrambled eggs with it.
I use one of those.
Bond only eats...
Oh, God, I just had an It's Always Sunny reference. I was going to go, you know what this is? Yes, it's to fix my toe. Uh-oh, botch toe.
You eat scrambled eggs with it. In the book, Bond only eats scrambled eggs.
Really?
Every book, there's at least one passage where Fleming describes the scrambled eggs he eats. It's like, his farts must really stink.
I was just about to say, he must be a very smelly man for somebody who gets around.
Extremely high cholesterol.
Yeah.
Just a generally unhealthy man.
I wake up in the morning, I have my vodka martini, scrambled eggs, smoke 6 fags.
More scrambled eggs.
More vodka martinis, more fags.
Eggs, booze, fags. That's his life.
Bonk about 8 women, then go back to more martinis, more fags. $300,000. Why, that's almost $400,000. I'm in.
To be fair, she's only pretending to fall for him.
Mm. Although nothing really develops from this.
No. Well, he nearly dies in a plane crash.
Nearly. But he uses a judo chop to get out of it.
It'd be funny if he said it as he did it, Austin Powers style.
Judo chop!
Yeah. Wish Bond did that with all the things he does. Shoot, gun!
Missile fag!
Missile fag. Punch man! Punch other man! Kick man! Punch third man!
Jacuzzi sex party! Ha!
Bonk!
Abortion! Oh, shit!
Mr. Bond, will you please stop saying bonk every time you come to bed?
No.
Bonk time!
Bonk! It's with every thrust. Bonk! 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 Bonk!
Oh dear.
Bonk! 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 Yeah. Goodbye.
Aha!
You could stay. I could help you. No. Fuck you.
Damn, foiled by wood.
My one enemy.
That is clearly not Japan. Like, these countrysides, they're just not Japan, are they?
Wood, where once you helped me with the ladies, you betray me now. That is clearly not Japan.
It's not. It's like...
That is the English countryside, if ever I saw Judo Chop.
Oh, yeah.
That is clear stock footage as well. Of course I'm a pilot. Of course I'm a pilot who speaks fluent Japanese.
He's James Bond, he can do anything.
Who can land a crashing plane with very little injury or effort.
Well, yeah. I mean...
It's a good job he got out of that plane just as he did.
Before you say, I thought he was in the Navy, not the RAF.
Yeah.
Well, he took extracurricular lessons.
I was in all three. Of course you were. I think that's the one thing I've learned from, because I'd never watched, the only one I'd watched of the Bond films was Goldfinger before we'd done any of these. The one thing I've learned about Connery-era Bond is that if I knew him in real life, I would be utterly fed up with him by about the third meeting.
You'd be tired of all the talk of Saki and...
The first meeting when he left, I'd be like, oh, thank God he's gone. Second meeting when he's left, I'd be like, why am I still seeing this person? Third one, by the time he was talking to me, you know, I was in the army once. Yeah, sure you were. You know, I once bedded the Queen of Siam. Did you? Oh, yeah, right, okay.
You probably did, but, I mean, that's, you know...
He strikes me as the kind of person who would just say
Do you know
anything.
I have the hairiest chest of any man in 1967?
Now, that I could believe. I've seen your legs. Mr. Connery, what's your arse look like?
I liked the bit just then where she was like, you would never do anything with that horrible woman, would you? Oh, no. I mean, yes, but no.
No, not at all.
Oh, it's all right. Q's here.
Oh, brilliant. I love Q. Q's one of my favourite characters in the Bond films. Because he's always really light-hearted, he does not give a shit.
Well, he's always he gets cuddlier as the series goes on, but in the early films, he's a grumpy old cunt.
That's why I like him.
Yeah.
He doesn't take Bond shit.
Yeah.
He's just like, 007, you break everything I build.
He gets a bit cuddlier and wackier as the series goes on. He becomes more like a sort of granddad type.
All right.
I think he just goes senile.
Oh, crap, this invention, it's so impressive it builds itself.
It literally... Self-jump cut technology. Self-building helicopter.
Now pay attention, Bond. This jump cut allows you to jump to any scene at any point you could possibly want. Does this mean we can end the film 30 minutes early? Well, in theory, yes. Excellent.
This is another thing that I love about this film. I mean, they built that. As in, they built that and a bloke flew around in it and it worked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And a guy lost his foot.
Wait, what? Back up.
A guy, they were filming the little aerial fight scene that's coming up now. A helicopter on one of the cameras, he came too close and he lost his foot. His foot got severed by Little Nellie's blades. Jeez. Yeah.
And got compensation.
Well, yeah, I mean, they flew him back to London. He, obviously got compensation. He obviously got best treatment. And then he came back to work.
Brilliant.
Not because they made him, but the guy was like...
Well, you are still contracted.
No, but I think it's like... Some, like, stunt cameramen and people like that are just insane.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like... his foot was hanging off and he was like, no, it'll be all right. Yeah. Like, look, that is great.
That is really cool. That's a nice shot. I did like that when I saw it.
And that's what I love. Like, someone actually flew around in that thing. It's not just...
It was what I like is the speed of it taking off, and then you also get that really nice location below, just as you can see it pulling back. Oh,
it's a nice little sweep.
The cine is gorgeous in this film. I really, I really do have to take it.
And the guy who lost his foot was like carried on working on the series and lots of other films, all as an aerial cameraman.
Oh wow,
that's what I mean. Stunt cameramen are insane. They'll lose limbs and just come to work the next day. Okay, what's the scene today?
We'll get cracking. Oh my God, you're bleeding uncontrollably. What? Oh, this thing, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm over the island now, and it's really shit. I can only get 2 radio stations, and Heart FM isn't one of them. What radio station do you reckon Bond would listen to? I reckon he'd be a Radio 4 kind of guy.
No, that's far too cool. That's too upbeat for Bond. Remember, this is the guy who thinks that that you need earmuffs to listen to the Beatles.
Oh, I'll tell you what he listens to. He's a Classic FM guy. He has Classic FM on, and every song he goes, such and such a composer.
Don't forget now, this was 1964 when Goldfinger came out. Hard Day's Night era Beatles. That was too much for him. Can you imagine later on listening to fucking Revolution 9? Day in the Life, Strawberry Fields.
I would love to have Connery's Bond listen to the new Bond soundtrack by Billie Eilish.
See, this wouldn't happen either.
No.
Just get some helicopters in the air, just fly around.
Now, do those Spectre uniforms come as standard, or do they have to buy them in, or what's the deal here? Do they get it discounted, or...?
Just play the classic theme again, why not?
Why not? It hasn't really got much use there so far. That was one of the things I did notice about this film. In the last few films, they've played that Bond theme, like, they got the money's worth for it. But...
I think it's because of its, what would you call it? It's sort of... As it's become more culturally known, they probably just felt the need to less play it because,
that wouldn't have
everyone
worked,
knows
by
it.
the way. That wouldn't have done that.
It did work, Dan, you just saw it.
Wouldn't have done that.
Well,
the flames would have probably put his window black and then he would have crashed into something, but that would have been about it.
But Dan, that's not exciting. That's not as exciting as blowing cunts up in a little toy helicopter.
Yes, but... well, okay, you got a point.
Uh-oh.
And I would like 6 helicopters all fitted with machine guns. The most impractical gun to have in the air.
You can see why people were getting hurt filming this stuff. I mean, some of the shots are just incredible.
That is clearly a model shot.
That was a model shot, but I mean some of those shots where helicopters just flooping around all over the shot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think some of this wasn't actually shot in Japan. They shot this in Algeria, in Spain. Because I don't think the Japanese were too keen on having loads of
helicopters battles in the air.
Knocking about, yeah. There's a funny story, actually. I watched the extras of this the other night, and they said that before they started shooting, obviously they did a big recce where they just literally went all around. They literally said that, like, we just got in a helicopter and just flew across nearly all of Japan. Yeah. Just photographed a lot. It took about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Lewis Gilbert, the director, had a fear of flying. He was terrified. And when he got in the helicopter, the pilot was this 85-year-old Japanese guy who said, I am kamikaze pilot in World War II. And he wasn't. Cubby Broccoli and everyone had just told him to say that. To shit Lewis Gilbert up.
God.
Because the guy was actually a really good pilot.
Yeah.
He was super disciplined, very good, very experienced. Instead of, I am kamikaze pilot. You'll be safe with me.
There's an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm about that. Where he goes to an old people's home and he meets a Japanese ex-soldier.
He said that he soon realised that he wouldn't have been a very good kamikaze pilot because he was still here.
Well, that was the episode of Curb, was Larry basically went, you can't be a kamikaze pilot because you're still alive. Cue embarrassing moments, awkwardness, and people going, Larry! For about 20 minutes.
Roger and out. Not the right terminology.
No.
I'm not
it should be Roger over and out, surely.
Not that I'm an expert.
Not Roger and out. If you're Roger and out, then you...
We are Russians, so our bases are very dark and menacing.
At least for another...
and very, very dimly lit.
At least for another 30 to 40 years. In the 90s, we lighten up a bit.
Because don't forget, we're the bad guys.
Yeah, heaven forbid that Russia win something, you know.
That I would rather have Spectre win.
Spectre? The Ruskies.
So you know it's Russian, Dan, because there's a big fuck-off star on the side of the rocket.
What? I thought it was just because it was a lucky star. They're speaking a language I don't understand, Ben, and it confuses and scares me. I mean, admittedly, these space shots are a little bit Fireball XL5.
I guess they'd run out of all the money had gone on the volcano, so there's not a lot of money left for the space shots, maybe. I presume this must have been some of the last work that was done on the film, on the model stuff.
Yeah, they normally do the model stuff last. Waka 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 waka.
It just looks so daft.
It does, and it causes more questions than it answers. Like as soon as they open that hatch, that space shuttle is no longer airtight, so they're all dead in there.
Well, not in Wacky World.
You know, Tiger has his own evil-eating spaceship.
Of course he does.
He sends his up to try and eat that one.
And then another bigger one from Spectre comes.
Yes. So Tiger sends up an even bigger one.
Yeah. Just Russian dolls.
Russian!
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be so much more helpful if there were subtitles.
I think you can gather what's being uttered.
I like to think they were saying, bugger in hell. That thing's just eaten that spaceship.
Oh, bloody hell. That rocket just been eaten.
Oh, no.
Get the nukes ready.
Launch the nukes. Burn them all.
That's what Spectre's plan's based on, that they'll nuke each other over rockets being eaten.
Yeah, and then Japan and Spectre can sort of seize control as a...
Well, it's assumed that he's not working with the Japanese government. He's
working with Japanese businessmen.
He's working with like Yakuza types, isn't he?
I don't know.
They never say. Well, they never say it, but it's implied that it's like
some kind of mafia-based...
Some kind of mafioso thing. I think that shot was backwards because you could see the smoke going in.
It was CSO as well, because you can just make out in the very corners the overlay line.
Thank you, Barry Letts.
Thank you.
Now, look, Dan, look.
That's real.
They built that.
That's like I say. I thought it was
blokes walking around.
I thought it was maybe a matte painting, like the top half, but no, that's real.
That's a real thing.
Where did they get the space for that, though?
In a soundstage.
How big is that soundstage, though?
Soundstages are massive.
Yeah, but not that massive.
They're like hangars.
Yeah,
you can fit planes in them.
You could probably fit about 8 hangars in that hangar.
But look, my point is, you just nowadays.
I like the fact he's got such a little board of the world as well, just in.
Nowadays, you'd have the money to in your film, your big Hollywood film, you'd have the budget to have a volcano lair. The problem is they probably wouldn't actually build it. They would just probably they'd probably build a bit of it and then green screen the rest. Or like you said, a matte painting. But back then, there was no precedent. They just said, well, we'll just build it.
Yeah.
And they really get their money's worth out of it too.
Oh, yeah.
And
I do like that shot though. That is a painting.
Yeah.
The Americans aren't exactly shown in a good light here, based on the lighting though, at least, isn't it? They're in a bit of a darker...
I think the implication is that the British are the sensible ones and they will save the day.
That seems about right. That seems about right for a film like this.
Remember the start where the British was like, you Yanks and Ruskies...
You need to learn to get along.
Like us.
Like us British.
Good old sensible English.
Just take a word from our book. If in doubt, colonise. It never goes wrong.
So yeah, this set, like I say, it cost more than the entire budget of Doctor No combined. I read on one of the extras. I think someone says something like more steel was used than on the big Hilton Hotel in London. It's just enormous.
It is. It's just ridiculous. And I like the fact that Spectre's main base of operations occupies less than a 50th of the space of the hangar.
Oh, that little room there.
Yeah, basically, that little porter cabin up in the corner is all of the operations for Spectre. The rest of that is just the show.
Can you imagine walking onto that set for the first time?
Oh, God.
You'd be overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's just massive.
And there he is, there's the master.
I don't know who he is, but I like his cat.
It's the cat talking. That's what they should have done. That would have been a good twist.
They did an episode of the Powerpuff Girls that was that.
They did, yes.
I remember that.
They originally got another actor in Donald Pleasence wasn't who they originally cast. They got this Czech actor in, and they actually got... When I say they cast him, as in they actually shot some scenes with him.
Oh, right.
But they had to get rid of him because he was too cuddly. He was too nice. So they said, who can we get who's...
got a malevolence about them.
Yes. I know, good old egghead.
Well, that's one of the things that I quite like about Pleasance's performance in this, is he has a detached malevolence. It's like he's not connected into the world, so to speak. He's got his affairs that he's running with, but it doesn't quite feel like he's of this world in the performance he's giving. If you know what I mean. See what I mean?
He sounds very dazed.
Yeah.
I shall leave my apartment.
And letters.
He, well, considering this is a villain who's been obscured since From Russia with Love. He's been in 2 films before this where we've not seen him, so, you know, he was painted, wasn't he, as the big baddie of the series.
And it turns up and he's just a slightly detached man with a cat.
He's just a bald man with a big scar on his face and a cat.
In another world, he'd be working at some kind of woodwork facility. I imagine that cat must have hated its time on that set. Because if you know cats, you'll know that when they want to be fussed, they love you to death. If they don't want to be fussed, it's literally the worst thing in the world for them. Okay, but what can it do with this pen? Well, nothing, they don't eat pens. Then they're rubbish, I don't like them.
And I want you to personally deliver it. Each bar.
I wish for your friend to strip...
One at a time.
I wish for your friend to strip for me. Slowly.
You're lured now, immediately.
Henchman, play my theme strip music. Boom, bang, a bang, when you are...
Mr. Rosato, play the theme from Penthouse. Yes. This is my jam.
Shake slower. Jiggle for me. A good gun.
A gun that shoots bullets.
Yes, you are technically correct, but that was not the question I was asking.
This is not catchphrase.
Have you seen...
I love the way he says rubbish.
Rubbish.
He goes, rubbish.
Rubbish.
Bond is alive. Kill him.
Bond is alive.
He will foil our plans.
And I've heard he's very good at throwing samurai stars.
Just put a lighter near him. The amount of alcohol in his body will make him explode like a Christmas tree.
The amount of scrambled eggs in his digestive system will create gas.
Guitar pedal ready to rock out the jams.
You know, whenever he hits that switch, not only does the bridge collapse, but Shake, Shake, Shake by Casey and the Sunshine Band start playing.
Why is our version of Blofeld a big music fan?
He is. Yeah, he loves his jams. That's what he does when he's not...
He also loves throwing women into piranha pools.
Excellent.
That is great. Like, he's so, like, detached. Like, the word you used, he's very detached and calm. And then just at the end, he has a great little hammy villain line. Kill Bond! Now!
No.
That would be like, if this were Doctor Who, that would be when the credits and the theme tune would come in.
And part
Kill
1
Bond! Now!
Yeah.
There's your cliffhanger.
I'm trying to remember, what is his name?
Whose name?
I'm just going to look it up.
Who?
Give me a second.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm gonna tell you now.
If you tell me who you're thinking of, I might know.
Oh yeah. It was good to see Robert Shaw's making a reappearance as bad guy in black costume number 276.
That's a clone of what's he called in From Russia with Love? Red Grant, who I think Spectre have like a factory somewhere where they just mine them.
Yeah.
On a big conveyor belt.
It's like that bit in Alien 3 when you go into the tank and they've got all the clones of Ripley. It's just all the clones of Robert Shaw, just...
Big blonde Aryan men.
Yes.
Muscles. Spectre have...
Any of them that fail that end up becoming the Baron from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
And now
we go into that scene. I was going to say that scene from Enter the Dragon, where they're all in the training fields.
Why do you need a shag-happy racist man when you've got an army of ninjas?
Yeah. Wait, hang on a moment. So you're telling me you have a secret underground railway, a jacuzzi sex palace, and an army of secret ninjas? I clearly signed up to the wrong secret agency.
Yeah. That ninja just broke the fourth wall for a moment.
Yeah, it was quite impressive.
Hello, I'm ninja number 4. Look out for me later on in the final battle.
Ben, fun fact, originally when this film came out, it was processed for 3D, but it was pulled from release when that particular samurai scene was deemed too terrifying for young adults.
It was too upsetting for the children.
Yes. After 4 people died after the sword came out of the screen and literally cut them down.
These were real ninjas.
Oh, I can believe it.
I guess you can tell, really. Again, why bother with Bond? Just get these guys to storm the fucking... There you go.
Foreshadowing.
All Bond needed to do was find the place.
Yeah.
As soon as he's found it, he just message, right, get the ninjas in.
Right, send the ninjas in.
Bond goes home. Shags Kissy goes home.
Yep. Maybe shags a few people on the way home as well.
Shags a few ninjas, who knows?
I love you. Yeah, it's very intriguing. Do you have any missiles that will take care of spiders? Imagine if you accidentally lit it the wrong way.
Yes.
Blow your head clean off.
That's why I always think Q Branch would be a very dangerous and unhappy place to work.
Yeah. You'd go in every morning just like, oh God, what's he done now? Honey, how was your day at work working for Q? Oh, don't get me started, love. He had tyres that turn into axes.
He had to steal blatantly an Eddie Izzard joke. He had trousers that turned into jam. He seems weirdly keen to get married, which isn't in keeping with Connery Bond. Although in the next film that will prove ironic.
No, you shall not marry her. I have arranged for you to marry the ugliest woman in the village.
But she's not, though, is she?
No, she's absolutely stunning.
She's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And she also threatened to kill herself if they didn't cast her. That's why she's in the film.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, before we get on to that, though, I mean, can we just take a moment to appreciate the slight moment of surrealism now as we enter the sexy plastic surgery scene?
The sexy racist plastic surgery scene.
It covers all bases. Yes. Why is it so big for a start?
Why is it so big? Why are they not wearing anything, even gloves? That's real number one.
Are you people medically trained?
We bathe you.
He doesn't even look that different.
No.
They just cut his hair a bit.
And put him some slightly sort of
some
narrower
very dodgy looking slants on his eyes.
Yeah, which is not good.
But my point is, how would a spectre agent really look at him and go, who's that guy?
Who is that strange Asian man?
Who is that mysterious man with the funny eyebrows?
Ah, my name is Bames. Bames John.
Well, Bames Bond, glad to meet you.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to Spectre.
I like to think that when he was in the sexy...
I'm sorry, but I love that scene. It goes by, it's about 10 seconds long, but it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Why are they in an enormous room?
I like to think...
Is it just because Ken Adam just decided every room is enormous?
I like to think that when they were
Make it bigger.
When they were doing
bigger.
When they were doing the sexy Asian plastic surgery scene, that Bond would say something along the lines of, so are you all surgically trained? And they would go, we bathed you. And that would be it. That would be all of their qualifications.
We were the exact same girls who rubbed soap on you about 3 acts before.
You saw this one's vagina. Do you remember? With the towel. Do you remember? Vagina. Do you remember?
And now we're going to cut your hair. Because that's all it really seemed to...
This is a very impractical way of killing somebody.
It's very, very Fleming of this. It's not in the book, but it's a very Fleming thing to do. Poison down a wire. Well, yeah, the actress who played Kissy, because they hired the two girls, the one who played Aki, who's about to cop it, and the one coming up who plays Kissy. And they had to learn English. And Aki, the one who's about to die, she took to it very well, but Kissy wasn't taking to it well. So Cubby Broccoli said to it, the guy who played Tiger was kind of teaching her English.
Yeah.
He took her to one side and said, it's no good. You're going to have to tell her she's not going to be in the film. She's not getting it. And he came up to her later on that night and said, she's at the Hotel de Hilton. She's going to throw herself out of the window unless you cast her. So they were just like, I guess we don't have a choice.
Okay, she's got to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Does Bond always sleep with a gun?
Yeah.
No, because hang on a minute, that was in Doctor No. He didn't sleep with a gun, and a spider nearly got him, so he had to get up and then hit it with the butt of the gun that he had on the other side of the room.
Well, that's why he always sleeps with a gun now. Yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. That's a line from one of the later films. Huh. Someone asked him about sleeping with a gun under his pillow.
Yeah, all they've done is combed his wig forward.
They just gave Connery a different toupee that day. Can you imagine if... This sounds so awful, but do you imagine if... feel free to beep everything I'm about to say. But do you imagine if, like, they said to Connery to do, like, a Japanese accent?
You know, I was wondering how long it'd take us to get to doing English accents.
I'm sorry, trigger warning for anyone listening. This is going to get really horrible. But it just goes up to blow. Mr. Bond, glad to meet you.
Oh, God! Oh!
Everyone just looks really uncomfortable, even Blofeld.
Yeah, everyone just stops with the mouth slightly open, eyes slightly wide.
They're all giving each other nervous looks.
Yeah, like...
Mr. Bond. And then it's like, cancel the launch.
The general vibe in the room is this is what he's going for?
This is not okay.
I think and Bond actually went on to make $65 billion just for that funny Japanese stereotypical accent.
All I'm saying is it could have gone a lot worse.
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually think the reason why Connery's wig is the way that it is because he had it dry cleaned the day before, and that was why they had to then reverse shoot the sexy Asian surgery scene.
It's all flipped on one side.
Like, basically, because it were dry cleaned, they were like, oh, great, now we've got to come up with an excuse why his toupee is broke.
That's the real reason he left the series. His toupee was getting less and less convincing.
And his Japanese...
Don't forget, kids, from day one of Doctor No, that's a wig.
Yep. It's all
day one, my name is James Bond, wig.
It's all fake. Well, it was that and the fact that his Japanese accent was just wearing too thin.
To get it down, it's funny because they're ugly. Women aren't allowed to be old and ugly in Bond films.
I hope I don't have to marry her. Why am I doing Roger Moore?
Probably because you're subconsciously looking forward to Roger.
Oh, great. I hope she's not any better.
We've got 3 more films yet.
I'm looking forward to Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Another manta. She makes me literally want to be sick.
To be fair, Tiger probably has sex with about 15 different women in his jacuzzi palace every day, so his standards are very, very high.
You will find that she is in the top 10% of all of the beautiful women of Japan, and therefore is hideously ugly.
Tiger Tanaka is just like, 6 out of 10, would not bang.
However, with Mr. Connery, can you leave the toupee on, please?
And the great thing about the whole marriage subplot is it doesn't add anything to the overall story.
Nope. They even actually have the point where Bond tries it on with her later, and she goes, "Yeah, we're not actually married." And Bond goes,
but then literally 5 minutes of screen time later, she's like, "Okay,
rabbits, sorted." I've just realised what Bond's toupee reminds me of in this film now. It's Jerry Lee Lewis from The Nutty Professor. It's just that bowl cut.
That was the other take of that scene. Apart, there was the racist version. Then there was Mr. Bond. You will not stop us. Oh well, if I just press the button and it just blows up the machine, and oh my god!
Oh, Mr. Blofeld, you're so tall and handsome with your broken eye and your limp.
I've just got my crazy rocket cigarette over here, and lady!
Throwing leave, I'm gonna blow up your base and let all the people in the ninja the people.
Connery fired from the series for making questionable acting choices.
Jerry Lee Lewis to replace Connery in.
Well,
I'm sure he was in Casino Royale. He must have been in Casino Royale.
If you ever get a chance to go online, I think Wikipedia has a list of the people who auditioned for Bond over the years. Some very, like, Patrick McGowan, Oliver Reed auditioned at one point.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know how I feel about that, because he's quite a gruff character.
Yeah.
I think he might have played a modern Bond very well. Like, you know...
Oh, yeah. Dave... who else? Adam West at one point. But then he turned it down because he said that he didn't feel it right that an American... They actually said to Adam West, we'd like you to do it.
Really?
Yeah, and he said it didn't feel right for an American to play Bond, so he said no. Patrick McGowan turned it down because he said that the role was very unchristian, which is very bizarre.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do I have to be incredibly sexist? Yes.
Well, yeah.
Good to see Timothy Dalton.
Josh Brolin.
Really?
Yep. Josh Brolin in his this was like way in like the start of his career, like mid-80s, when he was still young and dashing. Not like now, when he's big and purple.
Yeah. No, that's the only way I can see him. I want him to play Bond in that.
Basically, anyone who was like fairly youngish and tall and handsome was probably offered Bond at one point or another.
I would have said
Cary Grant. That was a big one. They wanted Cary Grant to do it before Connery, and he said no for some reason.
Okay. I was going to say I did notice that this print isn't as nice as the other prints.
What do you mean?
I've noticed some slight print damage here and there on this one against the others. Just tram lines, things like that. Like, for example, if you look down there on the bottom left side where that bottle is, there's a tram line.
Yeah.
And there's just little bits. Like, in Dr. No, it was pristine.
That's like because they were working from a complete pristine copy of Dr. No. I don't think you could say the same about some of the others.
Yeah.
This is the scene you're talking about where he tries it on.
Yeah.
It's this thing he does with the oysters.
Not eating it now. Done. Going home.
Did you get the joke there?
Yeah. It is aphrodisiac. Done now. Going home. World War III, don't care. Lost, mate. God, she's so beautiful. Do you reckon a woman could ever look at me the way I look at her?
Do you reckon a woman could ever look at me the way I look at me?
I am fantastic after all. He's given up the hair now. He's back with his old hair.
That's what I mean. They completely ignore the whole be Japanese thing.
Yeah.
Just like they ignore the whole marriage thing. You could literally, plot-wise, have just cut from Bond and the Ninjas to you and Kitty need to go find the volcano. Okay?
I'm going to tell you why they put that in there. Because they got a script that was an hour and 35 long and went, no, Bond films need to be 2 hours. Put something in about him needing to be Japanese. Build a sexy Asian surgery clinic.
So padding, basically.
Yeah.
Just kill time until we get to Spectre.
This is one of the other big things that I have to say about Bond films. That I know that it doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
But I'm one of the, if you watch my reviews, you'll know one of the big things I always complain about is padding in films. I always think that the films could probably be about 10, 20 minutes shorter and they'd be significantly better for it. And one of the things I've noticed with these Bond films is I know they're supposed to be blockbusters and they're supposed to be super long and have this grand theme.
Yeah, well, they're all roughly 2 hours or so. Yeah.
But there isn't been one Bond film that I've watched so far where I've thought, you could probably take 10 minutes out of it and it would be much tighter and much...
Well, give it time. I'm sure you'll come to that conclusion with one of them.
That is awful.
The projection, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know.
And there's that tram line again.
It was 1967. You know. Here's the least interesting bit of trivia ever. Sean Connery's wife at the time, Diane Cilento, did some of the swimming of the girls in this scene.
Oh, right.
Because apparently a lot of the Japanese extras they hired didn't know how to swim. So, you know, bit of a problem.
Yeah, I imagine it would be for a film that's set.
Sean Connery was married to Diane Cilento, who's in The Wicker Man.
Who did she play in The Wicker Man?
She's the teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, she's very good in that.
Yeah. She's Australian, I believe.
She does very good at
Scottish
accent.
Yeah. They were married at the time. I don't think they were married soon after, probably because of all the women that Connery bonked.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. Well, you know, whenever they do a sex scene in the Bond films, they have to do it in real life. That's
well, he had a very well publicised affair with Ursula Andress when they did Dr. No.
Did he ever get away?
Diane Cilento went on to marry the playwright who wrote The Wicker Man, Anthony Shaffer.
Really?
This is some good trivia, right?
You know what? I'm actually laughing and learning.
I'm happy that she spends the majority of the film in a bikini, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't care if that makes me a horrible, horrible, horrible man. I did about 5 minutes ago do a very inappropriate accent, but that was for comedy purposes.
Yeah.
I was playing a character of Sean Connery.
Look, we've both been horrifically racist in this Japanese-based film. I think it's perfectly acceptable. I love that bit as well. She's like, Bond's like, oh, you stay here, I'll climb the mountain. She's like, no, I can do it. And then there's 2 shots of them walking, and then she goes, I'm tired, can I sit down?
Well, they do look like they've walked a fucking long way.
I know, but it's just the
You'd
fact...
be tired too.
Yeah, but it'd be a bit like...
Would you also be in a bikini?
Yeah.
You probably... Would you look as good as that in a bikini?
I would look like Barney Gumble in a bikini from that episode where Homer fancies Mindy. Yeah.
Oh shit, should have had the oysters.
It's alright, I've kept them in my pocket. I know you're supposed to keep them in the... I know you're supposed to keep them in the...
Would you like some?
Bond, we ate those 2 days ago. Have they been in your pocket the entire time? Yes.
I like oysters, alright.
You're supposed to refrigerate them.
Got any scrambled eggs?
Yes, they're in my other pocket. God, why is your pockets full of food, Bond?
Your pockets are disgusting.
Your pocket is disgusting.
You smell.
Oh, God. Send in the helicopter!
The World Is Not Enough, one of the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Which we'll get to in about 4 years.
Yeah. Had a line that referenced the Volcano Lair that they cut.
Oh.
Because I guess they thought that it was very strange. And it is strange to think that in the same universe where this exists, the kind of semi-realism of some of the Pierce Brosnan films.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've only seen 2. One Daniel Craig film, which was Casino Royale. I saw it in the cinema when it came out. And to think that film exists in this film's universe.
It doesn't, though.
Does not?
The Daniel Craig films are a reboot.
Are they?
Yeah.
Spoilers?
What do you mean spoilers? Fucking hell, it's been out years.
I thought it was all an all-encompassing universe.
No, not really. They reboot them from Craig onwards.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm upset by that.
Well, I mean, I always think that you just sort of... That's the exact same footage which used to start the
literally...
film. They don't bother to hide it.
Jesus.
You know what? If I was the US, I would just not launch any more rockets.
Yeah, that seems like a wise idea. No, we gotta go bigger, we gotta go better.
I know it was the Cold War and everything, and they were trying to, up the Russians.
I want to see if that eating spaceship comes back. Oh, great, we're now in an American Werewolf in London. That is not filmed. That is a photo.
No, they shot that.
No, because you couldn't see any. You could see the grain frozen.
Ah, well.
It was a still of a film thing.
Well, they probably shot it and then just froze it then.
Just as I thought.
Some of these volcanoes, when they were filming there, were active.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Which I'm sure did wonders for the crew's personal safety.
Oh, yeah, their lungs would be very grateful.
Yeah.
The one thing that doctors always recommend is if you're going to go anywhere where there are active volcanoes, make sure to breathe in as much of the black, tarry smoke as you possibly can. Hang on. This isn't right. Those oysters are finally kicking in.
It was the 60s, they might have put some acid in the oysters.
That would have been fun.
Bond, we have to stop. What are you doing? I'm sorry, Kissy, I'm getting the fear.
Mr. Bond, it's glad to see... My God, Mr. Bond, what are you doing? Get off that launch pad.
This is my happening and it freaks me out.
Speaking of the late 60s, Ben very graciously, as I mentioned, because the machine ate my copy, very graciously bought me a copy of this film inside the box of another film called Rock and Roll Circus, which I also watched immediately after this film last night.
We could probably do a commentary on that, but then again we couldn't because I think video would be removed.
Almost immediately, because it was basically a music show for an hour.
Yeah.
But it was a psychedelic trip out where I was very happy. What year did that come out? Was it 68?
It didn't come out.
Well, what year didn't it come out? 68?
It was shot in 68.
It's only a year after
You can tell by John Lennon's haircut.
And the fact that he was very, very excellent.
And the fact he's very strung out on heroin.
Well, yeah.
As well.
That was one of the vibes that
it's
he
also
did give off.
An indication. Him and Yoko. Yeah, they shot that in 68.
Ah, great. I get to
and
use
then
my
it wasn't.
Spider-Man power.
It was never seen until 95.
Oh, right.
1995 when it came out on video. With the exception of the Who's performance, which they released as part of their film The Kids Are Alright. But this isn't anything to do with Bond, so you know.
It was a very good Blu-ray though. I very much enjoyed it.
It is very good.
Anyway, Bond is now Spider-Man. Just because he can be.
They look like they're running in slow motion.
They do. Why did they think that shuttle was a good shuttle idea?
Because, as you'll learn from subsequent films, and films before this one, Spectre, when they take over the world, they do it in style. I mean, Blofeld would have had to have been, arranged for all this to be built inside a volcano, which must have been very, very difficult.
And then he had to have the contractors killed, because obviously they couldn't know where the secret volcano lair was. But then they had to have the assassins who killed the contractors killed.
Yes.
Anyway, there's a lot of people who are now dead. Good old US technology.
I wouldn't have signed up for that job if I was an astronaut. It's the same stock footage.
Oh shit, it is.
Just play a drinking game every time you see that footage in a Bond film.
We'd be dead.
What drinking game could you play to this? Not that Dan's going to be planning on doing any more drinking games anytime soon.
No, I'm not doing any drinking games again.
We should play a drinking game to Hocus Pocus.
Every time something funny happens, take a drink.
Oh, so basically we would be completely sober throughout the entire night.
Ooh, boom! Take a drink every time Sean Connery doesn't look Japanese. Take a drink every time Blofeld is clearly detached from reality. Take a drink every time you see a space shot or stock footage. Take a drink every time something that is stereotypically Japanese happens.
That's a nice little...
That is a nice little monorail.
Mini train monorail thing they got going on.
You know what your volcano layer needs, Mr. Blofeld? Yes, a monorail. A genuine... What's that name? Say it again.
Monorail. Donald Pleasance.
Mano, no. This film needs more Clarence Boddicker.
But Main Street's still all cracked and broken. Sorry, Mom. The mob has spoken.
Monorail. Monorail. Spider-Man. I'm a superhero.
He basically is a superhero by this point.
Right, everybody out. Judo chop.
Also using the The classic Cambridge taught technique of hiding.
Yes, hiding behind a thing that it clearly should be visible. Right, everybody.
I mean, he's dressed as a ninja, but ironically, quite visible.
Sorry, I missed a bit of the film. Why is she swimming away?
He told her to go get Tiger to get the ninjas.
She's swimming to go. I mean, okay, fine. Why not? Okay, fuck it. Yeah, fine.
Well, to be fair, Dad, if she doesn't have a boat, how else is she going to get across?
Fine, yeah, okay.
She's going to swim.
That's very unreasonable.
And she's meant to be working for the Japanese Secret Service, so you have to presume that she knows how to swim.
Okay, Ben, we've got the evil volcano layer 10 miles away from the shore.
Compared to some of the other stuff in the film, it's not that bizarre that she would be swimming back to the base.
Ben, we're 10 miles away from the shoreline and probably about 50 miles away from Tiger's secret ninja base. I need you to go and tell Tiger to send the ninjas in. I'm not going to give you a boat or anything. I want you to swim the 10 miles and then I want you to walk 40 miles. Oh, and tell him I said hi.
That'll go.
And tell him...
Slaps on the arse. Off you, Bob.
And tell him to set up...
Go now. Man talk.
And tell him to set up the sex jacuzzi palace for when I get back. I like the water bubbly.
You're not invited. No wives allowed.
No women are allowed inside the sex jacuzzi palace. I will also say that Spectre ring that he's wearing looks really cheap.
All the money had gone on the volcano Lair. They had no money left for smelting rings.
Hey boss, what do we do about the Spectre ring? Just get one out of the lucky bag.
They come free with every box of Snap, Crackle and Pop.
Snap, Crackle, Pop, Rice Krispies. You know, when I'm taking over an evil volcano lair, I need to enjoy a breakfast cereal that is filling. That's why I eat Frosties. They're great.
They're great.
I'd rather have a bowl of Cocoa Pops. Why is there a tractor in the evil volcano layer?
A what?
A tractor.
A tractor?
Yes.
What do you mean?
In the background of that shot, then, there was a bloke with a tractor.
It was, whatever you were looking at, it probably wasn't a tractor.
It was definitely a tractor.
Just a bloke on there. Oh, I say. You want to be careful with them rockets, are? Oh, I don't know, boy.
Here, that astronaut looks a bit like James Bond, so he does.
Hey, that bloke's the bloke who killed at Largo.
Then again, what do I know? I'm just a farmer. Never mind.
I suppose you have no need for us simple country types in our ways.
So we've upset the Japanese and the Cornish now. What are we doing next?
Uh-oh. Bond's fucked it. He shouldn't have carried his little suitcasey thing on the rocket.
Well, what do you expect? I did the RAF and the Navy. I'm not a fucking astronaut.
I can't be good at everything.
Just most things.
Reposition Aryan man to the left.
I'm afraid I can only talk to you through this man's arse.
That is my preferred method of communication.
Tell me, Bond, what does your arse look like? Do you like the makeup on him there? Boom!
That's the title of the film. Yes.
Well, actually, come to think of it, no, most people only live once. I've never lived twice. Well, apart from this failed assassination. I didn't die. Ergo, I'm still alive. Ergo, you only live once. Ergo, suck it.
The power of the bald man.
I wonder how smooth Donald Pleasance's head was.
I'd like to eat eggs off it.
Scrambled.
Yeah, obviously.
Give him a little afro, Luke.
Obviously scrambled.
We're about to launch Stingray.
There is something very Jerry Anderson about the space scenes, isn't there?
Yeah. Anything could happen in the next half hour. Well, literally anything could happen in the next half hour. I wasn't expecting this the first time I watched it, so...
I'm sure these are fine. Although, to be fair, I guess you wouldn't think to check SIGs for rockets.
It still makes me laugh when he does the missile fag scene, because I always imagined that Blofeld would go, "Oh, well, if you're having one, I'm going to have one too." Very smooth. What the fuck was that?
It tastes good, just like a cigarette should. Yes, I like the Flintstones too, Mr. Bond.
He blows up one of the...
He Blofelds up.
He Blofelds up one of the evil assistants.
I'm so funny.
And there's just a pause where it skips a beat and then he goes, "Close the shutters."
You know what I love about shots like that, where it's like, it's not a miniature.
No.
That's just a big fucking rocket that they actually built.
The thing is, they normally, if they do stuff like this with model shots, they have to slow the footage down to make it look like it's a bit more grand and impeding. It's got a bit more of a weight behind it.
Yeah.
No, they didn't have to do that with this, because it actually weighed what it weighed.
Yeah.
It's actually massive.
Well, I imagine the rocket they built probably didn't weigh as much as an actual rocket.
Oh yeah,
it
you
was
could go and
probably
pick it up.
hollow inside, but you know.
Why isn't it taking off? Why isn't it taking off? Oh shit, we've spent money on a rocket that's not taking off.
Well, that would just be embarrassing.
It would. Also, very impractical, because if you do have a misfire in that volcano layer, that rocket is blowing the fucking layer up.
Surely, scientifically speaking, I don't know much about rockets, but in real life, that layer would be destroyed.
Yes.
Every time that rocket took off.
The amount of heat and smoke and pressure that would build up inside that thing, yeah, it would be... the shutters wouldn't save them.
I have blinds, they will help me.
Turns out he just bought them from a blind shop. They're nothing special.
Bought from Halfords.
Yeah.
I have a lordy discount.
Next question. So, she didn't have a boat, so she had to swim 10 miles out to go and get Tiger and the ninjas.
Yes.
How did Tiger get the ninjas back in there? Because there's a lot of ninjas there. He's got helicopters, but he hasn't got that many nonsense helicopters.
They fucking swam, didn't they?
Just a Spectre helicopter flying over just sees a line of ninjas swimming 10 miles.
And they all swim in perfect synchronisation.
Yeah, perfect arm motions. There was originally 2 million of them, but half of them drown on the way across. His name is Hans.
It's that little shot where he's spinning a little thing around.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a key. He looks like he's having a lot of fun there, spinning his little key.
The engine's a crater!
Donald Pleasance just threw away that line. Crater guns, fire.
Why does he have crater guns? And more importantly, how did they not spot Bond when he was in the crater?
Again, Dan, it's not that unusual for a villain to have guns outside his evil lair.
Crater guns, though, specifically.
Again, not that weird.
Yeah, but why didn't they shoot Bond when he was in there?
They didn't see him, presumably. But then again, it's probably easier to see 10,000 blokes in pyjamas coming across than one bloke in pyjamas.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. They should have some security guards out on that crater.
Well, if I'm forced to watch television, I might as well have a smoke. So he doesn't like telly. He doesn't like the Beatles. What does he like doing?
Drinking sake at the correct room temperature.
Drinking sake alone.
96.5
Drinking
degrees.
sake in my home in London alone.
With a cigarette. Occasionally with a woman, who I then throw away the moment I get the chance. Judo punch.
Judo punch. Judo punch. Rocket fat, go. You're like Inspector Gadget.
Go, Gadget, open the lava hatch.
Go, Gadget, ninjas.
Dun, 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 Sean Connery's Bond. Dun, 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 Judo flip.
He's kicking ass and he's wearing pyjamas.
Close the crater.
Annihilate. You knew it was coming. Destroy.
Exterminate.
Now this, coming up, is one of my favourite shots in the world, from any film. How many films, Dan, can boast a scene where a bunch of ninjas fall down ropes into a volcano lair?
Very few.
With guns blazing. I mean, come on. Look at what you're watching now. It's pure entertainment.
It's
pure cinema.
It is. Although I'm always happier with the Hank Scorpio version of this. Mainly for the bikini-clad ladies breaking people's necks with their ankles. Close the shutters. Out of sight, out of mind, Mr. Bond.
You presumably didn't know ninjas were gonna...
We planned for everything except ninjas. He did close the shutters off. I'm in that situation where I watched a film, forgot the film, and then it did that thing.
I love a good shot of stuntmen on trampolines.
I particularly like it when they do it with explosions.
We have a camera in space. Don't ask me how it works, it just does.
Launch the space camera.
I also have a VHS of You Only Live Twice. Oh my god.
Only my version. I've fast-forwarded to the end.
You monster.
Goodbye. Judo flip. There's a tractor. Told you it was a tractor.
Oh, we're not sure about all these ninjas approaching. Or
there he is again. Is there?
I see what you're looking at. It's obviously not a tractor, but...
It is. It's got 2 big back wheels and 2 little front wheels, and it's got a tractor.
Why would they have a tractor?
Maybe the secret volcano lair has... Headcanon. Maybe the secret volcano lair has an agricultural department where they grow the food so they don't have to import it, so nobody knows where the volcano lair is.
Well, they are planning on destroying the entire world, so...
The base needs to be habitable.
They need to have some sort of source of food that's not irradiated by nukes.
This is wonderful.
It is.
It is just great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Every film should end this way. Even dialogue-driven romantic dramas.
Yes. Love Actually would have been 20 times better with this at the end.
Oh, yes. What?
That cat.
Oh, the cat. That cat was not having a good time, was he?
That cat was tripping out.
That cat was on some of the... It was 67. He was probably on acid.
That cat was not happy to be there.
Even cats were tripping.
The violence in that cat's face.
Subtitles, I'm getting the fear.
Yeah. Donald Pleasance just looks down. Be silent.
We never find out what Blofeld's cat's called.
I'm trying to think of a Blofeld-esque pun for a cat.
Mr. Cutie Wootie was.
This is the price of failure.
Did you see that, Bond? I aimed the gun at you, but then I turned it to him. I did like a thing. Did you like it?
I liked to instill fear in you, Mr. Bond, but I will take you out in my own time.
I did like a thing where you... Oh, this is good. Nice.
Not today.
Nice hammy villain delivery of that line.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Mr. Bond. Great.
Thank you for the gun. An exploder button.
There's a make rocket blow up button up at the top.
There's a save the day button.
There's an end the film button.
Yes, I saw. I fast forwarded my copy of You Only Live Twice too.
There's a big button, a big red button. It just says end of third act on it. Somehow we have a camera looking right at the front of the rocket. I don't know. Who fucking cares?
Who cares at this point? The film has gone into absurdity at this point, and I'm quite happy with this.
At the point where ninjas have invaded a volcano lair, no need to question what's happening. Just accept it.
Just accept that this is going on. Why did they put a blow up the rocket button on the spaceship anyway?
I knew I shouldn't have put that blow up the rocket button. That was my one weakness.
That was my first mistake, but then again, I am a man of vanity.
It's a good Donald Pleasance impression.
Thank you.
The split of syllables in vanity.
Vanity. Judo shoot!
Judo bullet!
Judo dodge.
Ninja star. Now that is how you fucking dispatch a baddie.
Judo renaissance painting. Oh, here he comes.
This film sorely lacks in bad puns until this. Ooh, that was a very dramatic crash zoom into Connery's forehead. This film very lacks in the cheesy one-liners and puns until the end of this scene.
Yeah.
Even then, it's not that good.
Let's see if we can come up with a better one. Or a more shit one.
So,
nothing else.
spoiler alert, he throws them in the piranhas and then he goes, bon appetit.
Yes. Which is okay.
It's alright,
It's alright. It's not shocking. Or, I think he got the point. Or, she's bloody dead, mate. Actually bloody dead, mate. She got shot. Look after her. I'm going to go and bang this woman.
Swimming with the fishes, I see.
I'm going to go for, he fell into the water. And the piranhas.
And the piranhas
ate
him.
Bon eaten by piranhas.
Piranha banana. Even as he's dying, he goes, "What does that mean? Ah, my limbs!
I deserve better than this."
Do you want to know what my favourite PlayStation 1 game is? Piranha the Rapper.
He just falls in after he starts getting scrunchy munchy.
Now you're just saying words. They don't even mean anything. Shit, where's the end film button?
Is this the end film button? No, it's the speed up the spaceship button. Oh no, I'm rewinding. You only live twice. We're going to have to do it all again.
I'm rewinding time.
Why did they blow up the spaceship? I don't get that. It was just the way he was like, I repeat, the enemy's blown up. He's only bloody got him blown up. He caught me off guard.
That hairy man, he saved the day. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
It's Donald Pleasance on a motorbike.
And his bubble car. Why did he ever blow up the secret Volcano Lair button anyway?
Spectre has a blow up everything button.
Oh no, they're blowing up the secret Volcano Lair.
That's going to trigger the volcano. And say bye to Donald Pleasance.
And
we see Blofeld again, just not Donald Pleasance.
It starts off one of what is easily the worst special effects I've seen in a James Bond film.
Oh, I think in fact, I know what you're referring to. This shot.
Yeah, that is awful.
Ah, well.
Just awful.
They ran out of money by that point.
Who thought that was a good... I mean, I could put some bicarbonate of soda and vinegar in it. It'd look better than that.
Oh, they all the money had gone by that point. It's
just terrible.
The HD restoration doesn't help it.
I remember when I watched this last night, the first thing I thought is when I saw that shot for the first time was, I hope they don't repeat that. And they do, they repeat it like 3 times. And I was just there like, who thought that was a good idea?
But I imagine watching it in a dark cinema in 1967, it probably looked a little better.
Oh, and also this film does what all of the Connery Bond films does, which it ends with them in a small yellow raft.
That's right. With the exception of Goldfinger, all Connery's Bonds end with him at sea.
Yeah, making out with a beautiful woman on a yellow raft.
Which is interesting. I don't know if that was intentional, or if that was just something that they just fell into the habit of doing. But yeah, that's weird. I thought about this recently. All Connery's films, with the exception of Goldfinger, end with him at sea.
Yeah.
In a raft. And there's your favourite shot.
I still say my favourite...
That's like Tim and Eric.
It is, isn't it? It's really bad. I still say my favourite Connery raft shot is the one...
It's its own genre in itself.
Yeah, is the one from... Let me get this right. Is it Thunderball, where he has the elasticated band that just rips him out of the raft at the last minute?
He breaks his back and dies.
Yeah.
The rest of the series is a hallucination. Oh, I remembered. I need to bonk a girl at the end. You'll do.
Course. But let's do some strange zooming in effects.
But to be fair, that's just you could justify that by saying that's like a submarine zooming in on them.
That footage is reversed.
No.
Yeah. It's easier for them to have the raft on the submarine and the submarine going down than it is for the submarine to come up.
Moneypenny taking weird delight in watching Bond have sex.
She just likes to watch them, guys.
Moneypenny just likes to watch Bond naked.
I hear he has a very hairy arse.
Doesn't have to be bonging her. But James Bond will be back in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Shame Connery won't be back.
Yeah, Randy Grandpa goes on vacation for a bit. Comes back less arsed from what
he goes on contract dispute vacation. And he on production.
I like that film. I like that film. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Made on location at Japan at Power Studios, London, England.
And that was You Only
What?
Live Twice.
I assumed all those process shots, whether in the car, were real.
What? I'm sorry. Let's wind this back.
And thank Toho Studios for their services of their producer, Kikamura Okuda, as technical advisor.
Oh, I didn't notice that Toho were involved.
Well, I don't think... It's not really fair. It's not like a Toho production. It's more like they just use their studios.
Yeah.
They just banged in one day. Toho were in the middle of filming, like, House. And they just banged in and went, right, we're here now.
Ours now. Get out.
We're from United Artists. We can do what we want.
Out now.
Burt Kwok was in this film.
You know, I was wondering if he would, because with it being a UK production, Burt Kwok being quite a...
Yep, he played Spectre Free, was his creatively titled character.
Wow.
The James Bond theme written by Monty Norman.
Second American Spacecraft was played by George Roebuck.
Good old George Roebuck.
He was my favourite spacecraft.
Released through United Artists.
United Artists. I like that effect as well. It's quite nice.
The end.
Ah, beautiful.
But Bond will be back in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Which we will talk about.
Which Connery will go on holiday for.
I'm not asked about
Lion.
End.
And that's how you know the film's over, with the lion.
So that was...
It's like how you know a Peter Davison Doctor Who's over, because it does the... Shoom, boom. That's how you know a Bond film's over, the lion.
Yeah. So that was You Only Live Thrice. Ben, what did you think?
That's my name. I love You Only Live Twice. I love nearly everything about it. I love how it might be my favourite of the Connerys. I think it's better than Goldfinger, easily.
Really?
Yep. It's ballsier.
Yeah.
It gives less of a toss about making sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I will admit I've enjoyed it more on the second viewing than the first.
I adore this film. It's the kind of film, it's the kind of action film that doesn't get made anymore. It's so extravagant and nonsensical and bonkers and just great in all the right places.
Yeah. No, I'd agree.
Everyone plays it so perfectly. And
gorgeous location work.
Yes.
Fantastic casting.
Beautifully shot. Like, the production is... Oh my god, Ken Adam, fucking hell, deserves a Lifetime Oscar just for the Volcano Lair alone. But
tremendous scale.
Even the tinier sets of the film, he does a great job on.
Like Gray's apartment.
Yeah.
Just that is nicely done. The whole thing, it looks gorgeous, it sounds gorgeous. Great soundtrack as well.
Yep. John Barry giving the goods. Yeah. So,
what would you give it out of 10 then?
Oh, probably a 9, I'd say.
9 out of 10?
Yeah. It's one of the Bond films I'd probably go back to the most.
I think I gave Goldfinger an 8 when I watched it. And I think I would probably give this an 8. I think it's up there. It's in the upper echelons of the Connery films.
Yeah.
It's the same problem I have with all of the Connery films, is they're really nice to look at and they've got really interesting scripts. It's just those little things that bother me.
Well, I mean...
And I know that doesn't get any better, really, but it diminishes a little bit as standards shift slightly. Yeah,
but, I mean, they can't help they were made in the 60s.
No, that is a point. So I think I would probably give it an 8. I think that's a nice round number for that.
So Connery decides he's had enough after this film, and then we move on to the next film, the beginning of and the end of the George Lazenby era.
Ooh, I'll finally have an entire Bond under my belt.
Yes.
That'd be quite nice.
You'll have an entire Bond's run in one fell swoop.
Sign me up.
He's the Paul McGann of the Bond films.
One night only.
One night only, and then he fucks off.
Is Lazenby any good? In your opinion?
Yes. I think On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is the next film, is generally considered to be one of the better entries in the series. And Lazenby's not that bad. I would not have minded if... he always gets a bad rep, but I think that's because he only did one. So people always assume that, he was crap, so they get rid of him, which is not the story, but obviously we'll talk about that when we get to OHMMSS, which is, like I said, is considered to be one of the better entries of this series.
I look forward to...
It's also got the best theme song.
Ooh!
But again, we'll get to all that.
I look forward to giving it a go.
Yeah, it's really good. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It takes itself very... Like, it's a film of a lot of one-offs. Like, you've got the guy who played Bond once. It's directed by Peter Hunt, who, while he worked on all these films as an editor, was his only stint as a director. And it's very cinematic. And I know that sounds strange, but what I mean by that is there's lots of devices in it that feel very filmic, like there's flashbacks and weird little cinema tricks.
Which is
doesn't make it feel like a Bond film, but it is a good film.
I was going to say, after 5 films of what is a fairly progressive narrative, to do things like flashbacks or stuff like that would be...
Well, they do things like little cinema tricks that you wouldn't expect to see in a Bond film, because they're normally played very straightforward.
Yeah.
But no, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is really good.
I look forward to it.
It's a shame that Lazenby was such a prima donna, but hey.
We'll get to that when we come to it.
You would be too. If you had to, you'd probably be a bit nervous and anxiety-ridden too if you had to step in the feet of, Connery coming off the most successful film series of all time.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Well then, for now, we say goodbye to Randy Grandpa. And we hope...
But he'll be back in another exciting, well, quote, exciting adventure that is Diamonds Are Forever. Oh boy, I'm not looking forward to that one, but whatever.
Right, well, you've been listening to...
You might like Diamonds Are Forever. You'll like everything in it except Connery, because Connery's bored and sad and old. But everything else around him is very entertaining in a very camp way.
Oh, then I'm sold. I'm on board. Well, then I hope you enjoyed listening to us as we went through You Only Live Twice on the Comedy Dining Experience. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Feel free to leave a comment. Do the whole subscribing thing if you want to. And we will see you next time.
Press stop now.
Bye.